Welcome into our Countdown to First Pitch interview series. Michael Westbrook here from home and interviewing Derrick Grimes today, the head coach of the Ouachita Baptist softball team. Coach, you're about to start your second year as the head coach. When we spoke last year, it was January. You had just been hired, maybe even maybe within the last 48 hours, I think, when we spoke. So you jump right into a season. It had its COVID difficulties. It had its snowstorm difficulties. Take us back through last year and getting your feet on the ground at Ouachita and what it was like in your first year.
Well, it was a whirlwind because I came in. We had to start immediately. We had to get, I didn't have any time to waste. And, of course, the snow hit. It slowed us down. Well, the snow didn't really slow us down. The girls wanted it to slow us down, but it didn't.
Okay.
We practiced no matter what. I said, put your boots on. We'll walk the indoor. So COVID didn't really affect us a whole lot. It was just we just had to rush and really do things fast. This year, I'm blessed because I have more time. This year, we're spending a little more time on fundamentals, going back to the basics, a lot of footwork, a lot of different things that I have time to do. Last year, we didn't have time. We just had to get ready to play softball.
So most of the spring, the fall, I should say, most of the fall was spent on those fundamentals you're talking about?
Oh, yeah, Even now, I have a little more time now because I know the players, and, we've had a really good off-season program. We really hit the weights hard. We're still hitting the weights. I've just had a lot more to put my stuff into place and get the girls build, kind of prevent injuries with the type of stuff we're doing. So we're not going quite as fast as this year as we did last year. We can just kind of slow it down a little bit.
So let's talk about some of your returning players. And you had three that made the All-GAC selection a year ago. Nikki Schneider, a pitcher. Yes. So she was an honorable mention selection, and she's back. So let's start with her and the pitching staff and tell us a little bit about who's going to be in the circle.
Nikki's she's young. She improved tremendously last year. She's got better. We're really counting on Nikki this year. We're really counting on her to come through. I think the sky's the limit for her. I think it's unlimited. I think she can really, really improve, but she's really, really good now. But our conference, our conference is tough. We don't play any bad teams in our conference. All the teams in our conference are really good. All the coaches are good. Players are good. It's just tough to win in our conference. So you have to have good pitching. Nikki's a really good pitcher. We also have three other pitchers this year. Actually, four. We have four other pitchers, but we have a senior and Maddie Miller that we're really relying on Maddie to come in. She's our senior leader. She's older. She's been here. She's pitched a lot of tough games. She's a very tough competitor. She wants to win. She plays with heart. We're really leaning on her. And we've got a young freshman, a young sophomore, and then we actually have two sophomore pitchers and maybe three, as a matter of fact. Yeah, two sophomore pitchers, one junior, senior. It's just I'm relying on them. But you're only as good as your pitching. You know that.
Yeah. Well, Maddie's another one. We've talked about her over the years, and I know you're going to be counting on her. I'm glad you got her mentioned there. Last year was one of the best years for Ouachita in quite some time, actually. So from the returning players, how much do you believe in momentum, and how much does that carry over into a new year?
Well, unfortunately, what you did last year doesn't mean anything this year.
Yeah.
Just like the preseason polls, they actually don't mean anything. It's not how you're ranked, it's how you finish. It's all about how you work, the work ethics. I think we're going to carry over from last year because I have almost all my returning players. They're all coming back. They're going to be stronger. They're going to be faster. They're going to have more heart. They're going to have more desire. They know now that they can win. They just have to do it. They know now that we shouldn't be the team everybody just counts on winning. Last year everybody kind of marked us off, say, hey, we play Ouachita, that's 3 wins. I don't think we're that team anymore, and I don't want to be that team. And our girls don't want to be that team. So we're really stressing where they're going to be. We want to be the line this year. We want to be the line, and we want to come in and take stuff. We don't, we want to be that mentality that we're going to come in, we're going to take these wins, and if you want to beat us, you better come to play.
Yeah. Well, what's the offseason and preparations been like for Hope Wade and Heather Brown? Those were the two other all GAC selections from a year ago I wanted to mention.
Thank goodness Hope's coming back. Thank goodness Heather's coming back.
Okay.
Those two players you're talking about are tremendous. Not only are they tremendous ball players, they're tremendous people. They both have a 4.0. And that's one thing I want to mention. Our school has special girls here. They're here for an education too. And these two girls you're talking about have a 4.0. They're great students. They're great people. They're hard workers. Hope had surgery in the off season with a shoulder. Just to tell you, last year she played half the season with the shoulder messed up. As soon as the season was over, she had surgery.
Wow.
And she had the numbers with that messed up shoulder. Heather's the same way. Heather, if it's hitting the outfield, she's going to get it. The wall doesn't matter. So I'm blessed. God blessed me with those two players. Not only those two, he blessed me with the whole team. I'm truly blessed to have walked in with the girls I have. I have a good group of girls. I have a great college. I have a great athletic director. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better situation.
Great assistant coach.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I got to mention her. I've got probably one of the best assistant coaches in America, okay?
So that was a softball question leading that one for you there, Coach.
Yeah.
Tell us about your assistant coach.
This year, my wife is assistant Coach Macy. She went to Texas. I think she's got a job there. We'll miss Coach Macy. I really enjoyed her. She was a great person. I'm really going to truly miss Coach Wilson.
Yeah.
She helped tremendously, but she moved on. So now at this moment, it's just myself and my assistant coach, which is my wife. And I couldn't do it without my wife. I mean, she's a great pitching coach. I'll argue with anybody. I'll say she's one of the best in the country, and I couldn't do it without her. She really gets the girls ready to play ball. She knows when they're, what they need to work on, when they're in trouble. That's something we have here at Ouachita. We have a pitching coach, and I know there's a lot of schools that don't really have just that pitching coach. And my wife's not just a pitching coach. She does the pitchers. That's her main job, but she does everything. She helps me with, the lineup. She helps me with paperwork, administration, the outfield, infield. She's not only pitching coach, she's a well-rounded coach. So that's tremendous. And having your wife here is just a plus.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Coach, I only mentioned a couple of offensive players there, but let's mention a few others. Who else would you like to mention that you're going to be counting on this year, or new recruits, or just anything?
I think Jillian Jones, our catcher, is going to be one of our keys this year. I think if Jill can come in and be healthy and perform like she can, she'll help us out tremendously. I've got two girls, actually three, but that are competing for second base. I've got a new one that came in at semester, but Lacey Ordellis and Aaron Williams are two very capable ball players. They're going to be fighting it out. It's going to be a tough fight for second. I've got a really good freshman coming in, Jesslyn Aarons, that's going to compete for starting position. I have Emma Mays that can hit the ball in the parking lot multiple times. She's going to compete. She's a real strong girl. I have Reagan Harper, freshman, coming in. I have Callie Jordan that's returning. She's a great ball player. She's probably one of the best contact hitters I have. Who else? I don't want to leave anybody out.
Sorry, that's kind of a question where that can happen from time to time.
I don't want to leave anybody out because all of my girls that are returning are very capable ball players. If they perform like they should, I don't want to leave any of them out, but there's several other ones besides the ones I mentioned that are all talented ball players. I don't really have any players that I wouldn't call that couldn't contribute to the team. It's just when there's 30 of them or 25 of them, I'm sitting here naming them. I don't want to leave anybody out. And I have, of course, Hope and Heather and Jesslyn Aarons, Mackenzie Miles. She's real. I've got a lot of speed. I hope it transforms into the game. Speed doesn't always carry over to games.
Sure.
So there's quite a few girls.
Well, Coach, also We always want to mention the Mcgee Hawkins Invitational. That's where the season's going to begin.
Yes.
Weather pending and COVID pending and everything else. We hope we can have a normal year. So tell us about that tournament. Tell us about some of your games before conference starts.
We start that opening weekend, which is everybody does. We hope it's not cold like last year. We played Cameron University. The first game out, and that's by choice. I wanted to play them. Last year, they were the first team we played, and they put it on us pretty bad. It was the first time we played. I'd coach at a level, at this level, and they put it on us pretty good. So when I had a chance, when they were coming, I said, that's who I want the first game. So that's who we're opening with. And we really, what's scary, we don't play any bad teams.
Sure.
Our first tournament, we're playing 4 games, and all 4 of them can put it on us. The next weekend, we go to Portland, Texas, same thing, better teams. Next weekend, we're back for a small tournament. Our first 10 games are as good as anybody. I mean, we're not going to play anybody any better than our first 10 games. And if we're not ready to play ball, it's going to be tough the first 10 games.
Do you feel like that mindset that you have about, hey, you want to come back and play that team again? Do you think your players have that mindset too? What do you do if you start out bad because these teams are so good? I mean, how do you make sure they're in the mindset to keep on playing?
They will. We're going to have the heart of the line this year. We're going to be tough. I mean, you've just got to be ready. You got to be grit. We're trying to teach these girls to have grit, be tough, overcome your mental mistakes, overcome. What defines you as a team is not whether you win or lose. It's how you play the game and how you respond after a loss. So for us to become a great team, we have to know how to respond even when we lose. And you have to learn how to respond when you win. It's a two-edged sword. So we've got to learn, hey, it's going to be tough. We're not going to win every game. And Ouachita, the history of Ouachita. They've never won every game. And we're not going to. But we have to respond positively and take all of the positives and carry it over to the next ball game, which I think we will. We just got to instill in them. We got to be tough. We got to overcome. We got to believe in ourselves. And I want to be the team that when people say, hey, I'm playing Ouachita, I want the other teams to think, we got to play hard. If we don't give it all we have, we're not going to beat Ouachita. And that's the team I want to be. Nobody knows. Everybody knows our players by looking at them, but nobody knows the size of our heart. It's all about the size of your heart. And I want to instill in our girls, it's how bad you want it. You're not always going to win on the scoreboard, but it's not a matter of winning and losing on scoreboard. It's a matter of giving it all you have every ball game. And then you'll never lose a ball game as long as you give it all you have, because you're not a loser then. So that's what I want to instill. Work hard, overcome. It's going to be tough. Life's tough.
Coach, you've got me motivated.
Yes. The thing about
I've been a little down lately. You got me ready to go. So thank you for that.
Hey, the thing about motivation, you got to be self-motivated. Yeah. And here's how I fool a lot of people. They think I'm old, but they don't know me. They don't know my heart. I want to win today as bad as I did when I was 15 years old. So what does that tell you? So we got to be ready to play. We got to take what we want. We got to be the line, go out and devour people and make them overcome. Make them be scared of us. That's what I want. We're not going to be scared of anybody. I'm not going to say we're going to beat anybody. Yeah. But what I am going to tell you, we're going to work our heinies off. We're going to do our best to beat you.
All right, Coach. Well, I sure appreciate it. It's always a good visit, and wishing Ouachita and you and your wife, your assistant coach, the best of luck this year.
Well, thank you very much, and go Tigers.